An entire day of testimony on Senate Bill 1 relating to marriage equality was heard at the state capitol on Thursday. Many celebrated Halloween by taking time to stand in line in the hopes of speaking before the Joint House Committee on Judiciary and Finance. At the arrival of the midnight witching hour, lawmakers decided to halt the hearing. The meeting will continue Friday morning at 8:30 a.m.
So 8:30 tomorrow in this room. If you've already signed up and your number is over 1,000, please do come back. Have a good evening. We're in recess.
The day began with Republican committee members grilling the state attorney general about the law.
Number one, is it real? Is it empirical? Is it fear-mongering? Or is it acceptable that if you feel that strongly, there'll be no suits, it's ironclad, that are you willing to codify it?
So in answer to what I think is your question, Representative Ward, I do not believe it is fear-mongering. I understand that there are many people of good faith and genuine beliefs and sincere beliefs on all sides of this issue. And so I respect that.
There was also plenty of testimony in favor.
Aloha. I'm the Reverend Dr. Jennifer Kuponu Kwong. I'm the minister at the First Unitarian Church of Honolulu. And I join over 70 clergy throughout Hawaii who support the freedom to marry.
Senate Bill 1 will enact true equal rights for same-gender couples while respecting and protecting religious diversity in Hawaii.
The reason that we do not want to go through let the people decide again is because we've been through that process once. We saw how devastating it was. We were slandered, we were libeled. People were raised into incredible states of hysteria and fear. And then they said, oh, here's the way you should vote.
I had a quick question for Bishop Matsumoto. Do you feel like your religious freedom is being infringed by the current law prohibiting you from marrying same-sex couples in accordance with the religious beliefs that you cite in your testimony?
Yes, I do. I would like to have the opportunity, as many here today are also sharing, to be able to perform same-gender marriages.
But conservatives rallied against the bill, spurred in part by calls to action from House Republicans suggesting that families come down to the Capitol to trick-or-treat and testify. The opposition mobilized.
I have several gay and lesbian family members, and I love them all the way I love the rest of my family, equally. Every time I'm with them, I worry that I will hurt their feelings because of my personal views. However, this matter is not about addressing my personal feelings, but the future of the people of Hawaii, born and unborn.
I'm offended every time I hear what my ancestors, my grandparents had to go through because of the way they were born with the color of their skin. And the homosexual agenda is to say that this is the new civil rights movement, right? And look at what black people did. They want to compare it to that. There's no comparison whatsoever.
You've heard from hundreds of people today in opposition of this. When I came walking down here tonight, there were still people pounding the pavement, waving signs for us in opposition. Listen to them. And if you go outside, all you're going to hear is, let the people vote. And that's what I'm here to say.
I'm sorry that you've been put in this position by a governor who has an agenda and has used people, some of you as well as the parties that support some of you, to put you in a situation between us when you are our elected officials.
And to be honest, I oppose the SB 1 bill. I think mainly because we just didn't have the time to have a true discussion on what it meant and probably what the future would hold for them as well as ourselves.
Marriage has always been understood to be between one man and one woman. You are now seeking to push aside the wisdom of a millennia in order to do what? To create a dramatic change to society in just a matter of days. This is not progressive. This is regressive. It is not enlightened, but foolishness and government run amok. Thousands of people came out to the rally against this bill on Monday, and 60% of the testimonies that were heard that same day were also in opposition. And yet somehow the bill still made it out of committee and passed the Senate yesterday by a vote of 20-4. I get the feeling that it doesn't matter what we say.
The proceeding nearly continued into the early morning hours, but an outburst by Representative Jean Ward apparently led committee chairs Representative Carl Rhodes and Representative Sylvia Luke to rethink their decision to power through.
So when you're going to make these people stay all night, that is unfair to them, and it's contrary to the system that you told the public to compensate for what the Senate didn't do. You're not doing. So I would appeal the ruling of the chair to let the people go home, get sleep, let them come back tomorrow, and we who are half brain dead will be able to come back and make a decision about this particular bill.
Well, I think we should just power through as long as we can, because there are a lot of people who are here with children who waited all day.
What about the 2,000? There were 5,300 people who signed up as of 11 o'clock tonight. There are 3,000 more people to testify, and they're not going to come here at 2 and 3 in the morning. What are you going to do with those 3,000 people, Chair?
I announced at least twice that at midnight we would make a decision whether or not we're going to continue on or not.
But this press release that the public said that you're going to decide that Friday would be, if people are here who want to testify, they will be told to come back on Friday, not 12 o'clock at night, Chair. Do you want to read this thing? Here, read it.
No, we are reading it. Representative
read what
Ward,
it says.
can you sit down? I think a lot of people, Jean.
It's Friday. It's Thursday night at 1 o'clock. This thing says come back tomorrow. Oh, come on. Read the announcement.
Representative Ward, what we wanted to clarify to the audience, at least for the family members who are here, we didn't want them to come back. So we are making accommodation for the family members, at least who brought their children, instead of having them come. But it doesn't.
I totally agree.
Can you let me finish, please? It doesn't preclude the idea that we're going to come back, but we're going to try to stay as long as we can, because if people have been waiting since 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I think we owe it to the people to stay as long as we can, and it doesn't preclude the notion of coming back.
I'm worried about the other 3,000 who are not here who have signed up. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, or
recess. We'll be back in a few minutes. Recess.